Hey everyone, Paul Piper here in the studio. Welcome. Today I want to do a quick drum tip. This was going on some questions some of my students have been asking me about the right foot as far as doing the bass drum pedal. Um, some of them were telling me that they were hurting a little bit. Their ankles started hurting. Well, let me see what you're doing. And they showed me, and they were doing more of a heel toe kind of thing on the kick drum, which is fine. Which is fine. But if you're going to be doing long stints of drumming, for example, if you're doing a 3 or 4 hour gig or a 90-minute show or whatever the case may be, I want to focus today on how to have your kick drum and your pedal work smarter, not harder. In other words, let's let the technique take over so you don't have to work as hard um, otherwise with the rest of your foot. So if you look at the left screen, I'm going to show you 3 different variations of the slide technique and how we can use it with different variations of drum beats, also with fill ideas. Okay, so we'll start with the actual technique itself. And I'm going to do both heel toe as well as heel up. Okay, so let me do this here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Um, so a lot of the students are, when I see them play, they'll do something like this. Okay, that's fine. But if you start doing this a little bit harder, because when you're playing, especially if you're playing with a band, you want to make sure that you can project enough drum volume so the band can hear you as well, but also use proper dynamics. All right, so let's say if we take that same thing at a faster beat, right? You can still hear it, but you're going to hear a lot more energy if we focus on the other standard as far as the heel up. And also, when you raise your heel, the source of power will not come from here, it'll come from here, the back of your leg, the calf, as I guess is what we call it. All right, so we're going to do this way. Now, watch what happens when I raise my heel. You hear the difference? So we have a lot more power, and it's not going to hurt your foot as much when you play that way. Now let me go through 3 different variations of this technique. The first thing we'll do is we'll do it with a hip hop beat. Second, we'll do it with a samba, and then thirdly, we'll do it as a fill idea, and how you can incorporate it with different tom and snare variations. So let's say if we did a hip hop beat, right? The other way is just heel toe. Now that's fine, but I'm having to work really hard to make that ankle work. And over time, probably in the next 5 minutes, if I keep doing that, it'll start to hurt a little bit. So let's improve the technique, just like what the right hand and the left hand does. Doubles, okay, it's the same thing with the foot. You're doing, with the hand, you're doing bounce, and the fingers bring it back. That's how we're able to get that roll, right? So basically, we're doing one maneuver for every 2 hits. In this case, the bass drum. So we're going to go 1, 2. It's called the slide technique. Okay, 1, 2. Right. So if you notice, my heel went down on the second beat. Now let's see what it sounds like as we speed it up. So we're going to do just a regular hip hop beat with heel up, and I'll show you what I'm saying with the slide technique. Okay, so that's basically how that works. So you're not hurting your ankle, and a lot of the source is coming from this part of your leg. Now, let's say if we try it on a samba, right? Again, samba with heel toe will hurt after a while. All right, now let's raise that heel up. Okay, especially if you go a little bit faster. Right? So you'll start to feel that slide technique as we get into it. Thirdly, on the third variation, using the slide technique with various tom format fills along with snare. So let's say if we went heel toe first, I'm not able to give it a lot of power, but let's say if we raise that heel up now. So that's basically how the slide technique works. And if you go to YouTube, you can see different videos on various drummers who use the technique. And just learn it because basically it's going to help you with your foot technique, your right foot technique. And now if you're, for those left-handed drummers, it's the same thing, except now with your left foot. But just try it out. See what you think. Again, my name is Paul Piper. Thanks. Y'all have a good day. Take care.